ForeverQuest Online Battle Arena, written by Alex Maven, narrated by Chris Frost. Please visit alexmaven.com for free updates, new releases, giveaways, and more. Part 1, Chapter 1. Temor would be dead in 10 minutes. He'd awoken from unconsciousness by roaring applause. Spotlights danced across the stage and shined into his eyes, forcing him to squint. Confused, he didn't know where he was, but a sinking feeling in his stomach told him it was bad. He had expected to wake up in the county jail after being arrested, nothing he wasn't used to. That's how it had always been before. This time, things couldn't have been more different. Despite being disoriented by the noise and lights, Temor did his best to lift his head and observe his surroundings. There was an entire cheer squad of women in front of him on stage. They had their backs turned to him and were facing a vast audience of onlookers that roared with applause and laughter. The cheerleaders were all wearing matching Viking-themed cosplay outfits, carrying foam swords and other medieval props. They twirled around each other in a choreographed dance. The music they danced to sounded fantasy-inspired, an energetic mix of flutes, drums, and other stringed instruments. Temor groaned at the uplifting music, which was a big contrast to how he felt. His head felt like they had crushed it in a vice, and his body ached all over. He could feel the hardened crust of blood on his forehead where a cop had beaten him with a nightstick. What worried him was the cold metal clamped over his head. He tried to struggle, but they'd restrained his legs and locked his arms with cuffs of steel so tight they bit into his flesh. They'd immobilized him in a standing position. He tested the strength of the cuffs. Superman couldn't budge them. He felt like he was a victim in some obscure horror movie. A growing panic threatened to break his sanity until the blaring music died down. He wasn't alone. Rows of other victims were all lined around the back wall of the stage with him. Cheerleaders exited the stage, and the audience quieted. Now he could hear the moans and cries from the other caged-up people. Angry cries of revenge, cries for mercy, and this all had to be a big mistake. On it went for several minutes, and nobody in the audience seemed to care. Temor stayed silent. Taking a deep breath, he thought, there had to be a way out. There was always a way out. Testing the cuffs around his hands one more time, he noticed that while they were tight, the chains they had attached to them had some give. As his mind cleared, he realized he was still...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?